Hi, how is everyone today? What you been up to? Hello. How is everyone? I thought we could listen to some Christmas songs. Hello, Sanj. How are you? Hello, Alexandra. How are you? What are your questions tonight? Leo says current feelings of M towards me. You're already getting in there, Leo. That's why the... Hello, pal. How are you? Hello. Okay. I think that someone's got like a little bit of like... They had options before, but now they've kind of decided everything over. They've got a couple of options to choose from, but they're kind of resting right now because they feel slightly burnt out. So yeah, I think they're a little bit indecisive on you, Leo. Sanch says, general reading for the next 24 hours. K-Nut says, hey! 13 says, hello! And Alexandra says, general reading. Give me 1 second for Sanch's one. After the 2 that you've already given me, Sanch, you'll have to wait another hour for another reading, okay? Okay, so there is movement. So you've got the chariot card. So you're moving. You're moving. It's like there's just a general move. I don't know what's wrong with my nose, but it's just I've noticed some dead skin and it's just annoying me. King of Wands is a very outgoing personality, so there you go. And then 2 of Swords. So you actually have to make a life choice at this moment of time. I don't know. I bought myself a mobile phone holder from Amazon, but it's a little bit of a tricky one to set up, and you guys can't see that cards, so there you go. A choice there to be made, a life choice. So then it's Alexandra's turn. General reading, please. So yeah, most of the time we have to choose life choices. They might not seem that big, they might seem small. Okay, so firstly, there's Off the Hermit in reverse. So for you, you see it that way, I see it reverse. So I'll tell you about why the Hermit in reverse is actually such a bad card. Because you're kind of scared of people right now. And this might be just COVID jitters that you're scared about being around people. But in general, like, that kind of can add up to more problems. But life seems to be good. Like, you're bringing in quite a good amount of things there, okay? Right? So don't be so scared of people, but you're gonna bring in some nice things. Probably, since it's December, it might be the new year that it's actually talking about, okay? So Shua is the next one. Hello 13, how are you? Okay, so look, prosperity at home. I always think of, like, it's prosperity, but because there's a flowerboard, it makes me think of home. Ace of Pentacles, you haven't accepted a offer of money, which you should possibly do, because most of the time with Pentacles, they're all about money. And Page of Swords, which is actually kind of funny. Because Page of Swords is always like the guy that gets caught with the midnight stack. Because she scared him so much, he's dropped the plate. So he's just dropped the plate. It's like skidded off into the middle of nowhere. So, yeah, I think everything else is good. Stop trying to provoke your anxiety and definitely take up this offer with the money. Whatever offer you've got, if you earn some extra money, it should be fine, right? Okay, and then Sanj says, will San contact me today? And if anyone doesn't know the rules, that means that Sanj has got to wait at least another hour for the next one. So that is a King of Wands. So we pulled it for you. I think he's kind of like thinking about you a lot. For him to come up again. So I would say yes. This feels like a general yes. But whether this person's like thinking romantically, it's probably not as romantic as you think. But they miss you, yeah. Fatine says, hello, what was Omar's last thought and intentions towards me? They see you as their whole entire world right now. So that's always like, I don't know, like, but they're very playful and very outgoing, very energetic, but they're not chaotic right now. So they need to have like a space where they can burn off energy. Unless you can wear them out, I would suggest letting them get on with their hobbies, because Knights of Wands, out of anything, are like the most energetic, I feel. And just let them go to run around for a little bit. So Kenneth says, shall I open to shelf soon? And will she open up back? Both female, love her a lot. There's High Priestess there, so there is like something there for sure. Like, you guys are manifesting quite bigly. That's not English word. Quite big things. I love when I say things like that, and I'm like, that is definitely not a word. And yeah, I think you guys both have to focus on the love, not the money right now. Because I think both of you are quite young, so you're both focusing on the money. But you guys seem to really have a manifestation power, so I think you'll both be opening up soon. Jade says, hey hun, will I be lucky with my finances this month, please? I think you have to like accept like some help or like some extra financial aid that you might not want to, because like the Page of Pentacles always seems like the person to be like, nah, and just like, because look, this cat, he's got a treat and he's just like poking his tongue out at it. It's like, what? Nah, you think I want this treat? It's hand flavored. I don't want hand flavored. So yeah, take some help, okay? Deal with D. No worries, Alexandra. Popeye says, high current feelings of SS towards me. Does he miss me? I think he's very concentrated right now. Maybe he does miss you and doesn't want to admit. Because I think, like, guys tend to, like, if they're not feeling good emotions, they kind of distract themselves. So I think he misses you in some ways, because like, unless he's like a personally workaholic, then I think he really misses you. Dealerman D says, hello, can I get a general reading, please? Thanks. No worries, Sanch. Dealerman D, it's taken a while. Okay, it's telling you to stop focusing on things right in front of you and see a bigger picture, because you might be stuck because you're trying to like force change in small things. And sometimes like the universe wants us to kind of like work on like the stuff that's like, you've got to sit and go, okay, if we're not getting what we want, then we should see a bigger picture and sit and go, okay, well, if it's not going to come like that, then why not? And see the bigger picture. Also, like, the Hermit came out for you again in reverse. So it might be that this is actually about a relationship dynamic. That's what is coming through. Like someone that's kind of picking on the small things and someone that wants the bigger picture. And so therefore you're both arguing. Or like maybe it's not arguing because you're scared of approaching that. So I hope that works. Okay, so Candy Crush does S love S? It seems like this relationship has quite a lot of promise. This feels like, for me, yes, prosperity at home, like a little tiny kitten playing. So it could be like the start of a new home, like all the yarn that's needed to knit warm blankets, and a very cozy house. Even the kind of floorboards seem a little bit redder, so it's either new house or it could be just like the reflection of the fire on the floor, which is very cute. I like that. So Sumbler, hey, hi, a reason. Okay, I don't know where my English has gone, but like. Okay, so you have King of Pentacles, so you might actually know a rich man around Christmas time, which might mean like some money. Also, save your treats. Like, it's a time of saving, not a time of spending. So it could be like spend less on people's presents than you would want, or it's just because you have to. Don't feel bad, because we've all been here where we've had to save through December. So good luck with that. Hopefully the rich man comes your way. Hi, I'm Mary. Will I find a new love next year? Well, actually, this is all the card that you need. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So, weirdly enough, my camera's facing me, so everything's, like, upside down. Well. But Wheel of Fortune in reverse means that you've got to take a chance on the universe. I think you probably control your life a little bit too much. And you've got to kind of see, like, what the universe kind of throws at you. Like, is it opportunities to go to a party? If it's opportunities to learn something new, where you can meet people, that's usually the case, is that we tend to try and control our actions more than the universe will us sometimes, and that it will give us something better. 13. After this 13, you'll have to wait an hour. This might be actually a very short reading tonight, so. Will I meet Omar again this life? I feel like he's going to surprise me soon. Maybe it's just a feeling. It's always kind of funny when we think about other people. Oh, okay. Yeah, Page of Swords. And 10 of Pentacles. So this person cares about you a lot. But it's also kind of... I feel like slightly scared. Or like surprised to see you. So it might be like... they don't want to admit that they actually care for you. That's what I'm feeling through this. So it might be that this person's kind of moved on away, but they still care for you very deeply. So it could be that they have someone else, and that's why they'd be so surprised to see you. But I think it's very possible from those cards. Jan, hi. Hello, how will my career progress? Yes. Okay. Firstly, you're very directional. You have lots of focus. And you're going in the right directions. The cards say you're going in the right direction. Just keep on chewing on that box. You're getting somewhere. So... the cards are not giving me any more, actually, unfortunately. But they're telling me that you're going in the right direction. So you should just believe that that you're going the right way. Okay? Sandy says hi. How does Nico feel for me? Nico is trying to either disguise emotions or trying to fight something else externally. So Nico's actually battling something that you might not see. And that's a struggle sometimes, because a lot of times we keep things to ourselves that will affect us deeply. And that's why sometimes, like, we treat people like the way we do. These guys are not going back in, so I assume that they are for you. It does predict, like, a winter or a cold heart, which is possibly true. Because, like, if you're struggling with something, you might have closed down and you're probably more apathetic to people around you. Which is emotional numbing. It helps us try to cope with trauma or something that is strenuous in nature. So let's say if someone's going through something very emotional, they might close down and they're going to feel nothing, which is kind of creepy, but it happens to a lot of us. But it's also telling me that whatever interactions you have are positive to that person. So it feels like you're doing a very good job keeping this person knowing that they're loved, that your flirting or your flirtation is good. So even if it's like not that obvious, they do know that you care for them. So that's good. I think you're doing very well to get this person to warm up to you and possibly to actually admit what they're going through. So okay, Queen, give me 1 second. Spare email. If you feel threatened at your workplace, I'm not going to, like, I'm not gonna pull any cards for that. You need to go to HR and you need to tell them what's going on. Because if there's an altercation between you and the customer, they have to know that. Because if that comes to court, by any reason whatsoever, they are gonna ask you, like, did you tell anybody? And if you say no, then it's going to be harder to prove in court that if you knew, and he gets away with that, yeah? So make sure that you contact HR straight away, okay? I'm not gonna even pull cards for that. I would be extremely frightened. Sorry, spam email. That might be too serious for tonight. The Queen says, how does Marcus feel towards me after our breakup? Guys, if you did read a spare email's question, what advice would you give? Because so what does Marcus feel towards me before the breakup? Firstly, I don't think this person knew that things were going so bad. Also kind of feels slightly selfish, so he's kind of keeping his love to himself, but he's also trying to get back to with you. It feels like he's still staying in contact and watching your move. Probably not in a creepy manner, but I think he wants to be the shoulder to cry on, or the rebound if something gets bad. So it might be one of those things where you sit there and go, okay. No worries, Mary. Have a very good Happy New Year to you too. I should be streaming before Christmas. I'll try to do as many before I finish the year, but that's what happens. Cutie says, hi, messages for the guides about A. Well, firstly, they're like, finally, you've got someone in your corner. Like, this person's getting you out of a lot of, like, past issues that you might have gone through. So this might be a friend, but they're like, finally, you've got someone that's in your corner, like, helping you sort out things that you were stuck with. And judgment, they're like, well, treat this person right. I feel like this, like, seems like a grandmother. If your, like, present grandmother's not dead, maternal grandmother. If she's not dead, it's your maternal great-great-grandmother. But I definitely have this sassy grandmother attitude, like, oh yeah, treat this person right. Like, as she's baking cookies. Like, this bustling, like, voice in my head, kind of like, it's cookies and stuff like that. She's, like, running around the house. I don't know if that was, like, supposed to be like, ancestry message compared to a guide, but yeah, I think she wanted to come through, because all I could feel was this grandmother energy. Like, oh yes, about time. Vanna says, is it over between me and Vil? Well, firstly, this person's trying not to think about anything. But there's also, like, this kind of really, discontent about how they're living, which is kind of weird because they feel like a very hippie, like, oh yeah, I want to experience everything in life, I want to travel. So on the outside, they seem like they have a really good life, like very carefree, very attitude-wise. But it feels like this is an Instagram kind of mentality. Like you put the photos up and then you're still discontent because you go to the perfect beach ever and you just see all the rubbish around because everyone's gone to the perfect beach. And that might be the case, that they're kind of seeing like a very superficial way that they're interacting with things and they want it to be better. But they've kind of trapped themselves into this notion that they're very carefree. And if they want to think very deeply, then they've got to change their whole personality to do so. So they're just sitting on the fence being discontented about their lives right now. So I don't think that this person comes into the factor when it comes to thinking about you. So they don't have any qualms about how they think of you or how they treat you. So if it's they treat you badly because they're going through stuff, then I would honestly sit there and go, well, then they're really not thinking about you as a person and you deserve so much better. So if they're dealing with that stuff and they're very vapid right now, yeah, I don't think it's about you. So it's really like they have kind of put the thought of you on the back burner, I guess. Okay, Jan, thank you. No worries. Kenan, thank you. Sorry guys, I forgot to change the thing. Hey, Justina! Thank you, but I didn't understand much. Sandy, what did you not understand? Can I get a general reading about my near future? My name is Alyssa. Thank you. It's weird, like apathy turns into high emotional, because the worst thing is while you're apathetic, you haven't really dealt with emotions that you're feeling, but most of the time, yeah. So Alyssa, it's telling you it's okay to be weak. Now, usually people read this as like strength in reverse means that you need to be strong. I always think my cards are telling you it's okay to be weak right now. It's okay to ask for what you want. It's okay to not be like there to be the person that other people cry on your shoulder, because it's yeah, I think that's the only thing the cards want to say. It's okay to be weak right now and ask other people for what you need or what you desire, because I think most of the time you are the rock or the shoulder for other people to cry on, because you're too strong that people don't see under the armor. They don't see when you're cracking, pretty much, because you have this really beautiful armor. And so therefore they sit there and go, okay, this person's so put together, they know what they're doing, they know. And so therefore they leave you with everything, and they don't see the scars or the bruises or anything under the armor, because you're very good at showing them the outside. Hey, Leo Rising Cancer Sun, hello. I'm so sorry that Nightbot doesn't like emoji cards. Will it be more beneficial to me and my person if I show more an affection to my person? I think the weirdest thing is I don't think that you know how to do that. And if you keep showing them love and affection, like how would I explain it? Like narcissist, and I'm not saying you're a narcissist, or Yeah, so type A personality. So let's say that's the case. They do this kind of love bombing thing where they just like shower the person with love and attention. And what happens after a time is then they withdraw that, because it takes a lot of time or a lot of energy to completely show someone that you care. Like, it's very active. And I think that it's kind of your personality to be slightly cool. And that's okay. Like, long term, that'd probably be the best way to cope with a long-term relationship, is to do your own thing and they do their own thing, and then you come together and do something together. So I would say that it's telling you you probably don't have any idea where to start. And maybe it's telling you to kind of work on your imagination of what that person would want compared to what you want. Like, one thing that you could probably do is like ask them to do the quiz. Has anyone done the love languages quiz? Which is actually kind of interesting, because my partner and I did the quiz and we found out that we're exactly the same. We're both time is our love language, which was kind of interesting, because my last partner was gifts. I think it was gifts, which is kind of weird, because if you're talking to someone that's got time as their like love language, then they might be a little bit upset when you give them a gift, because they'll be like, you're trying to make up for like not spending time with me. So what do my guides feel about S? For me, it's my boyfriend. What messages do they have about S? Okay. You want to come through and say what they think about S. The cards are thinking, so it might be that they're trying to like... Okay, firstly, they're saying that a relationship needs hard work, and you both have to communicate and like focus on what you want. So it could be that you're both very young, and the cards are telling you that yeah, that because you're young, you need to work extra hard to work together to get a good outcome. The sun means that you both have a really good, and this is probably coming back to that, I feel like it's a younger relationship. That's what I'm feeling. And the sun means that young relationships so beautiful. It's before we got like really, really hurt. Before like you turn into a mean, cynical old woman like me. No, I still believe in love, but there's just this kind of innocence, and they're telling you to enjoy that, because it doesn't always need to always completely work out, because sometimes you get more coping strategies for a relationship when you're older. But yeah, they're telling you to cooperate and share everything, which you might not... That needs a mature mindset when it comes to love. So they're telling you to enjoy it and keep on working to communicate and cooperate with each other, and make sure that it's fair and equal for both of you, okay? Hey, LT! Alcon Ritz! Vita says, hi, does Sunny plan to visit my country after I'm better physically? Okay, so there's Hierophant. Okay, so probably this person says that it's not wise to travel right now. So this probably possibly has too many plans or too much workload to come and visit you anytime soon. So that might be a case. Also, they're telling you that you're probably far too reliant on this one person, which means that if you're... Do you know what a special person is? Like, some people have, like, what they call a special person, which they attach to. And I don't know whether this one is your special person, but it seems like you rely on this person very heavily. So, I think it's going to be a while. It's definitely going to be a while before this person comes to you. Yeah, I don't think that it's saying no to this person coming to visit. It's probably just not anytime soon, okay? So Alcarit says current feelings of Anshria for me. Sorry, LT, you're just like humming. You're just happy today. I know. I can feel it. It's just like... It's so cute. I don't know why I picked that up. Current feelings of Anshri from you, Alcarit, they don't know, but they're kind of like a little bit scared, a little bit cautious, but they also want to know where this is going, so they're like, I don't know. You personally intimidate them, not as bad as you. Intimidation's a bad word. But you kind of like make them go, why me? Why did you pick me? Like, you've got everything together. You might have money, or you might have something going for you that this person doesn't feel like you're completely. So it could be just like you're put together or something, and they're like, oh no, I'm a mess. So yeah, this person really thinks that you're amazing, because they're a little bit cautious, a little bit scared, but they want to see what it is. So probably like first date jitters, I guess. That's what I feel. LT. Oh yeah, they firstly wanted to mother the crap out of you. They're like, oh, she's so cute. There's also like, maybe you got really nervous, so they're like, here, breathe. Oh, it's actually telling me that it was winter, so you might have gone for a walk or something, and it was a little bit cold. That's what I feel like. It's not just like a heart or something. They're cold. They were trying to battle not to, like, because your energy's so infectious and you were talking a lot. They didn't want to like talk as much because they didn't want to interrupt. The King of Cups, so they're a very emotional person, which is great because I think that you need that person that has that kind of emotion ability. And they're very nervous and very excited to see you again. That's what I'm saying. It's weird the Page of Swords came up again, but sometimes it's one of those ones where I'm like, why does this card come up all the time? And then the other one, yeah. Josephine says hello. How do people see you in a casual social setting? Ooh, that's interesting. Like, maybe you've done some really interesting things with your life, so you tell some really good stories. So you heal people through like that. Maybe not just like funny, but the way that you could sometimes express yourself makes people laugh. So they just like enjoy that. Also, like, you tend to be very approachable, very friendly, and people want to talk to you. That's what I feel is just like, you have a very cute smile. I feel like that's coming through is like a very cute smile, but possibly a naughty one. Like, you have like a bit that you look like, not in a bad way, just like a little bit of a naughty one, which is kind of weird because on guys I really like that. Okay, so give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, so where am I doing? Where am I up to? Oh my lord. Oh, okay, so okay, AM after this, you have to wait a whole hour, okay? Financially, and well, Queen of Wands came out again, so I think it's telling you you'll be alright. Like, there'll be food on the table. You might not be completely comfortable, but it'll be alright. Also, it's telling me that there's a death situation here, so it might be that it's a little bit like tight right now, but it's telling you that will pass. So don't worry, it's just like a short, brief part of time. I feel like if you're looking for a job, it's like January that you'll be fine, okay? Does your ex have any secret feelings or dreams about me? Oh no, vegan. I think they're healing. I think the relationship kind of they weren't expecting it. If they broke up, then they're sorry about it. I think your answer is no, that they don't have any secret dreams about you. But they're probably just like enjoying just doing their own thing, being a bachelor. So yeah. I don't think they're having any secret dreams about you, sorry. I'm so funny. I hope so. Okay. No worries. Hello, Megan. Hello, CK. Workouts recurrent English must brain compute. Yes, it should. Inputting. Okay, what guidance in regards to my current work situation / job, what to focus on, improve, etc. Maybe also about moving towards a new job too. That's a lot. Okay, let's just ask the cards like, hey, like, what's up? Like, you know how you go into like work and like someone's over the water cooler and like you go, what's up? They say that I can't do the eyebrows. I want to move my eyebrows. If anybody could show me a trick how to move my eyebrows, I would love to. Like, I do love like the Spanish dancing eyebrows, like how they dance, like and you're just watching them. You just is it just me that gets memorized by people's eyebrows? Okay, so it's telling you to keep on reaching out. Like, if there's anything new, to take that on. Also, I feel like this job is not the best fit for you because there's kind of like your behavior, personality doesn't fit this job quite well. it's like your dress, your manner is very laid back, and you might be in a office that's supposed to be suit and tie, and everyone's like, what you doing? Also the moon is like reverse, so you actually don't care anymore, which is great. Just like, I was thinking, oh my lord, what is that movie? Oh, I can't remember the name, but there's a guy that if anybody knows the movie, can you put the movie down? There's a guy that it's the before the Y2K, and he decides to increment like money, so he gets like 1 cent every single time like someone's got a transaction. And he doesn't realize that he's not taking like a 0.00 of a cent. He's taking 1 cent, so people could actually see on the transaction. He's like, oh freak, what do I do? And there's like this guy all the way through the movies that's like, I'm gonna burn down this place. And they're like, sure. I'm not saying burn down your office. That's not a good thing. No bueno. But he is like, at the end, he burns down the office, and they've left the money inside, and they could have just like buggered off with the money, because there wouldn't have been any trace. But I'm not saying that any of this is good advice, but I remembered that as in, oh fuck this. Throw in your tie. Don't burn down the office though while you're leaving, even if you think that you need to. Thank you, spare email. I hope that this person never bothers you again, because yeah, and if the police get called on him, at least someone else has been informed. Okay. Anne says, hi, will I be able to secure the job that I'll be interviewing in a couple of days? Okay. And firstly, you're a very caring person. You're very, yeah, I think that your personality is correct for this job, and the person that you got interviewed by really was impressed by your personality, and actually was really attracted to the way that you delivered yourself, or showed that you could care, because it seems like it's a caring role, or something that you'll actually have to show more emotions, compared to like if it was a back facing job, so it wasn't customer facing. So well, I'm happy. I can tell you feel like how would I explain it? I felt LT's energy, and it's like bubbly like champagne. I just feel like bubbles. Dollface Diva, should I cut ties with Eric in person or over the phone? I think that if you want to cut ties with this person, you have to do this with as most distance as possible, because I feel like if you talk, you'll be convinced to stay. So yeah. Dear Limit D, after this you have to wait. Did you wait in November? Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I feel so. You just came in early, so. I'm happy to. I mean, happy. What can you expect in 22? Firstly, which. Oh my god, it feels like you invested in Bitcoin or something that was a little bit speculative. If you're not invested in Bitcoin, it's just like something else that you put your money or your cash this year that's gonna kind of pay out in a surprising way. It might not be like that much money, but it'll be a decent amount of money. Also, I think that you've had like a little bit of a heartbreak this year, and so your heart will actually heal next year. So that's actually kind of interesting. I would say that you might have just got over what happened to you. So that's good, because usually what happens is you have to heal your heart before anything else, okay? So I weirdly enough, it feels like Bitcoin, but it's some things like that. Did you get Shiba coin? Deal with D. Did you get Shiba coin? I want to know now. Spare email? Yes, of course, because I didn't actually answer your first one. Because I was more worried about you. Oh no. But I have. I'll show you. I've got this guy. He's a little fluffy corgi. Because I keep on saying to my partner, can we have a corgi? Can we have a corgi? Can we have a corgi? And he's like, no. I'm like, but I want a corgi. So he's bought me a fluffy corgi. So, well, it's easier to clean and look after. Yeah, right? Okay, so, will I get going with the yes? I think you will have a fine time actually in Luxembourg, and you'll get to see a lot of things. So I think this is like spring or early summer, which is actually pretty good, because I don't think you'll have to worry too much about face masks. This is kind of outdoors, so you might have to go to a lot more outdoor things, but it's saying that you'll be pretty happy and you get to see your friends if they're in Luxembourg, or your friends, and you will have a lot to play with or take in. I think that there's no problem. There's no problem. You're just... there's definitely joyness, celebration, cooperation, playing together, talking, so... I think you'll have a great time. I'm hearing a lot of chatter in my brain. Like, excited chatter. So... So... I will, thank you, LT. Hey, Crystal! Should I pick Thomas or Freddy? I don't know. I know you're very nice, Freddy, so that's Thomas. Thomas seems to be saving a lot of money right now, so he might be a skint person. Okay, let's have one for Freddy now. Stop being mean, cards. You don't say someone's worth based on their wallet. Freddy is yeeted. I think they're both having a hard time. So, actually, Thomas might be a little bit poor, but he's just like, he might be like sitting there going, oh yeah, can we not go out? Can I cook you a thing of dinner? So he might be like, well, I don't feel like spending a lot of money on dating, like, so he might cook a really nice meal, because that looks delicious. And so death and the devil, so temptation and a little bit of a yeet. So actually Freddy seems more adventurous. So Freddy will be more like a fun-loving person. Thomas seems like more of a practical person. So this is Thomas's cards. So he's a saver, and he's also kind of good cook. So he might be like sitting there going, I don't really like going out. There's this. I'll cook dinner at mine. I'll cook dinner at yours. Might be one of those things that you just have coffee dates until like he's allowed to come around. So death and the devil. So this Freddy seems very much like the Freddy I know, which is like a very carefree person. So he's got temptation and death, so he's probably not in a very stable kind of mindset right now. So if this person has just got out of a long-term relationship, like a long-term relationship, he's probably just like on the market to see what's going on. So let me know. Let me know if Thomas is a good cook. You could probably date them at both at the same time. I did that once where because they usually say to take a couple of dates with someone. Definitely just say coffee dates, and then you just pay for your own coffee. Sometimes that's good. Josephine, I may ask a question why I have trouble clicking with other girls sometimes. Josephina, when I was growing up, and it depends on how old you are. I'm gonna ask the question to the cards after this, but I know that when I was younger, I didn't understand women because a lot of the women that I knew or interacted with didn't have the same kind of hobbies or interests as me. As I've grown up, I've realized that a lot of times the people that I share are not going to have the same hobbies. So we usually have like two or couple of interests that make us friends. And so therefore I have people like my friends that do yoga, and my friends that dance salsa, and my friends that play video games. So sometimes you can't share everything with one friend. So I realized as I've grown older that I might see some people at one of my interests and I can share interests with another person, like, oh my god, have you seen this? Oh yeah, where can I get salsa shoes from? I actually need salsa shoes. If anyone wants to donate to buy me a pair of salsa shoes, they're expensive. Latin shoes are expensive. I don't have a proper pair and it gets really annoying. Yeah, you don't have to. So yeah, so judgment, so fairness and quality, and that kind of makes sense because like women tend to be quite harsh on their circles, so gossip tends to be a thing, which is okay. You just don't tend to hang around people that tend to be big gossips. Also, maybe you overthink too much around women, and so therefore it's kind of fine if you go towards women that tend to be a little bit more not uptight. Maybe not even worry about this situation and find yourself friends when they come into your life. High Priestess might, in reverse, might be that you haven't kind of manifested these women in your life yet, and that's okay. That takes time. That takes time. So don't worry. If they're worth being your friend, they'll stay around to become friends. Hello, Humble. Dasha Letty, that's a long time. Let's say like the next 2 years for you, okay? So Humble says, how is Cam feeling about the text messages I sent him about feelings? Firstly, he wishes that you weren't so straightforward and direct, that you tend to be very blunt. And he's like, oh, can't this person say something nicer? Also, it might be this thing where he gets slightly judgmental, which most of us do when we feel attacked. So it could be like time to kind of think, okay, like, maybe I was being a little bit harsh because, like, I might have said that a little bit differently, so therefore he knew that it wasn't his complete fault. Because sometimes the way that we see, how would I, like, we've done it before, like, my partner and I, where there's, like, sometimes where we've been upset with our partners for not knowing something that's only in our head. So it'd be like, why didn't you know that there's a chicken in the, like, oven? Like, I cooked chicken today. And then I'm like, wait, he didn't wake up that early. I stuck the chicken in the oven earlier than he woke up. So, like, by the time it's lunch, he wouldn't have even known. I would have said last night, oh yeah, I'm gonna put the chicken in the oven. But, you know, like, you go to sleep. It's a new day. I think everybody's like that, right? Okay, Dash and Letty, I'm gonna ask for the 2 years, because I feel like most of the time that people grow and change, and your fate is your own. So most of the time, like, when you look at yourself now, it's different from where you will be in the future. Well, firstly, like, you have, like, the Chariot. So that means that there's a physical move coming up. I think you're going to be very excited about it. It might be actually travel to another country to live for a little bit. Which kind of makes sense because this might be an au pair situation where you look after a little kid for a little bit. Or you are teaching. So it could be like, what would I say? ESL? So you're actually teaching another language to someone. So that could be a language skill. Or a tour guide. Like, this kitten looks kind of surprised. So it could be that you work and live in another country for a little bit and then come home, which is great because while you're young, you might as well do that while you're young and then learn, like, stuff to get there. Oh, hell no, lol. Oh my god, that movie though, lol. Not going to burn down my office, haha. My job is pretty decent, but I want to advance to a better role company yet. I feel quite lacking in my skills. You will always do that. You'll always do that. It doesn't matter what you're doing, it's always gonna happen. Like, imposter syndrome is the thing. I've been reading cards for like nearly 2 years now. Do I feel like I still know them? No. And sometimes I look up the meanings and I'm like, it could mean this as well. And I'm like, I'll look at the card and go, hey. but like, everything is like a learning experience. Like, every single thing is. So whether you like it or not, everybody's going through the same thing. Everybody has imposter syndrome. You know what? Even if you're the number one thing, it's just like, that's the case. I'll let you know. Freddy offers me the world already, while Thomas is secretive and mysterious. Maybe Freddy doesn't care as much about, like, how he's perceived by you. That's maybe the case. Ian says, hi, what's the best way to go? Thank you, Crystal, for telling me. Ian says, what's the best way to go back? And hello, Ivana, and hello, Gregory. What's the best way to go forward on my path right now? I seem kind of stuck. Firstly, there is someone that really cares about you. This might be not your soulmate, so if you're not in a relationship now regarded as a very, very close friend. Very, very close. Like someone that you tell your whole life story to and they don't even bat an eyelid. If this is a relationship, know this love is deeper than most other people's relationships. And so you've got to realize that this person will take whatever you say unconditionally. Like you say, I'll move across country. They don't care. They just want you to be happy. And this is just like you keep working or you keep thinking it's something in your head. And maybe it's like one of those weird dreams that people do. Like one of the thoughts that I have in my head is that there's a guy that makes felt hats in Italy. And he moved over there, fell in love with the beach, and was like, how do I make myself a business? And he decided to learn felting. And so what he does is he sells these hats for like lots of money because the designer made hats. Like he custom makes them for people. And then when he's like burnt out, he lets the employees take over and he goes to the beach. And I think the rest of the employees can go to the beach whenever they like if there's someone actually manning the company, because it's a very small company. So that's what I thought I'd tell you, because I think that most of the time you think that your little idea's not going to work, and I was going to tell you that story because I believe that's the story that's right for you at this time. Okay? Kinamokia says, my question's how will I be romantically near the future? Love is kind of a weird subject for me. Firstly, there is like, what would I say? The Greeks had five words for the way that we describe love now. So they had romantic love. They had eros, which is lust love. And they had the love between friends and the love between like husbands and wives. So they had 5 types of like love. Okay. It's interesting because it's a weird thing for you. You tend to be quite a standoffish person. And it kind of, and don't get me wrong, but it feels like you have, and I don't want to call you out in front of everyone, so it might be not true or not, but it feels like you have kind of emotional trauma there, or you might be very, like, you don't understand people very well. And I'll tell you why, because you have Queen of Swords in reverse. Now, Queen of Swords is an intelligent, highly articulate human being. She's very good at talking, normally. Queen of Swords in reverse means that you're slightly agitated or angry. Which I don't know why you would be angry about relationships, but it's telling me that you either find everyone idiotic around you, and why would you even bother with love, or you kind of like push people away early, so you're not even getting into that, you're just pushing them away already. And this makes sense with this one, which is your 9 of Cups in reverse, which it means that you actually have more of an egotistical standpoint when it comes to a relationship. You're not willing to give to receive. You're actually trying to receive without giving, which is probably why there's Ace of Pentacles as well in reverse. which means that you haven't been accepting people's help. And because there's pentacles, it seems like money. So it seems like you're kind of operating as a one-person band, and you expect everyone around you to kind of do their own thing. And when they don't do their own thing and they come into like close proximity, like, oh, I like you, or I'd like, can we go on a date? You're just like freaking out. And that's okay. That's fine. That's kind of like sometimes what we'll do at certain ages, and maybe you need to talk to someone why you feel like the need to push someone away. Like when I was 16, 17, I would have definitely done that. Like if someone said, I like you, I would have been like, gone. So, it could be just an age thing. You've got to kind of realize that you don't have to reciprocate people's feelings. If you don't want to go on a date, you could sit there and go, no. You don't even have to make up, oh, I have a boyfriend. You know what? I did that. I was 18. And I just said that my friend, like, I even took a photo on my phone and I was like, oh no, I have a boyfriend. Thank you, Matt. But yeah, like, it could just be an age thing, okay? So don't pressure yourself. Try to work out how you feel. Like, I felt like I always had to be responsible for other people's feelings or emotions, which was not very fair. And looking back on it, I wish that I had understood that better. But, you know. Hello, love. Hello, humble. Geeta, can I ask a question, please? Of course you can, Geeta. Sorry about that. I just needed to say that. What is Ush's current feelings for me? Sorry, Geeta, that it took a while. Ush's current feelings for you is that you need to chase them. They're like waiting for you to like chase them. They've let go. They'll let it go. They're watching from the background. They want you to chase. They also like sit there and go, okay, like you might have to tease them a little bit more. Like they're ready to pounce, but they're also finding, you know, when cats just like sit there and you take their toy over there and you just like shake it for like ages, and then you kind of give up and the cat then chases it and you're like, stupid cat, I've been waving it around for 2 whole minutes and you just decided to... Yeah, humans the same. Weirdly enough, this whole like kind of start of a relationship, and people like, this is stupid. How are we going to know whether they're going to stay on? Like, sometimes it's the chase, sometimes it's the persistence. We know that someone wants to stay with us, and that could be the case. It's like, do they care enough? Okay, so let me go down, because I think I did that. Josephina, thank you. No worries. Shavaski, sorry. That was just a snort into the microphone. Jesus. What does Rashid think about me? Says, Shivas Kansi? She? I think I said it right the first time, and now I've overthought it. It's going to be very hard for me to say it again. So what does Rashid think about you? This person's very workaholic. They tend to have like a mindset that they're pushing really further on, and they're kind of like very present-minded. There's also like this kind of cry for like attention seeking behavior. So you might bring up like how you feel, and it gets turned back into how they feel. Like, you know how some people go, like, you approach them and say, it's not fair, like, you made me cry, and they're like, oh, but now I know that, is it fair to, like, and it slightly gaslighting, I feel. So that might be a case, like, they don't realize, like, and they're really not future planning right now, which tends to mean that I think even if they really care, they're just like doing their own thing, and expecting you to dance to their own tune. It might be that you have a lot of talents or a lot of abilities that they can't measure up to, so it might be a thought like, this person's gonna leave anyway. So, that's a very complicated one. Yeah, this person's doing something very detrimental to their health with Page of Cups here, where they're very they're overworking themselves quite badly. Yeah. So take your time to think whether you want to be with this person when they haven't really got any future plans that involve you, okay? So Tay Marie says lifestyle says hi. It could be also that it's overwork and this person's normally not like this, which makes me believe then that person's just working themselves into a thing. Jace's current feelings to you? Well, firstly, there's lovers there. This person wants you to be more cooperative with this person and be more assertive. So you actually have the Ace of Swords in reverse, which can be more assertive, or like be careful, like that you might feel like the world is falling down. They might feel like the world's falling down as well. It could just be just a general anxiety. The Hierophant in reverse. This person goes their own way, very a rebel without a cause. So it could be because they're thinking about you. You could be the rebel. You're the one that's got the leather jacket. It might be a vegan leather jacket, but it feels like you tend to be a very much a person. At the world, this person wants to like start traveling with you, which is a good sign. That means that person really can see you going somewhere. They're a little bit discontent about the way things are going, but I think that they haven't really told you like what they want out of the relationship for them to really kind of talk about like the things, but they just generally want you to speak your mind and cooperate in some things that they're passionate with, and that's all. They're pretty simple, pretty happy person. I think this person's pretty now I'm not saying simple usually can be considered an insult, but I'm not meaning that. That person's very easy to please, which is good because most of us need to learn that. Okay. Shipla, hi. Leah rising a Cancer Sun, what's your dream job? After this, you have to wait a little bit, and you're very welcome. Your job is kind of a weird thing. You'll actually be looking more at protecting things in the future. So most people think of things right in front of their faces, but you're like risk management or something like that. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it could be risk management or protection for people so they don't get sued or something. So you're actually doing a lot of probably legal paperwork, something that you enjoy because you have a very much analytical mind. You have a very good imagination, so you're probably like how would I explain that? I've met one before, so they tend to mitigate risk in large companies, so they are always thinking of reducing risk. So like health and safety, but even a little bit more. So you're actually protecting lives because you're thinking how's the easiest way to help someone do their job without them breaking their back or getting hurt, and you're helping the company by helping the people. I feel like that's a thing for you to do that would be very interesting, because I don't think that there's like any day that it's going to be like it's always going to be different. Jasmita says, will I get married to Debasis? And weirdly enough, I don't know why it was risk management, but it felt like that was the case. Oh my lord, that card's just like jumping up and down. Get married to Devasis. Well, it seems like you're very one-track minded about this. You really want this to happen. And I'll tell you something, if you have a desperation mindset when it comes to this, like you want this too badly, you will have this bet. Also, there's kind of a weird thing where there's a lack of financial saving, and there's also this kind of bit where you both realize that you're very different. So it could be that you need to kind of save up yourself, or start a little business on the side, so therefore if you get married you still have some income coming in, because I think that in general it will make you more assertive, more confident in your relationship. So when you actually go into your marriage, you have something. Just Vita. And that might be that you actually have a full-time job, but it's more that you're working on something that makes you how would I explain it? Like, when we're passionate about something, we become highly attractive. And it doesn't matter who we're attracted to. Like, we'd like to be attractive to our partner. But you know, when we're smiling, when we're happy, when our face lights up, and we're talking about something that we're passionate in, it just makes us, like, very attractive. Like, the whole energy is attractive. So I feel like in general there's a bit where you shouldn't be dwelling on getting married. You should be dwelling on what's good for you, Jasmita. And then because you'll be attractive, this person just can't. Yeah. What does Annika think about me? Firstly, there was a big argument in the past. If this person's married, it's like their partner and the mother-in-law. So if they're not married, if they're like dealing with that, it could be that they had a past altercation with the person that they're interested in, and that they still want to go for it. So that's an interesting thing. They still want to see how it goes, but they did have an argument, and it was a past argument, and now like sometimes it's hard when we have a mother-in-law. It's funny, my partner's mother-in-law really doesn't speak English, so it's kind of going to be a fun bit there. Hello, investing. Thank you. New spotter here. Hello, calming vibes. Hopefully I'm not that, yes, of course, you can ask a question. Ada says Leo's feelings for me. Okay, so Ada's feelings for you. I don't think you've given them enough to feel satisfied or full. So there might be like things that you haven't really told them yet, that makes them feel like, or that you haven't really like put a lot into the relationship yet. That feels like a thing as well. And that card felt like it was for you as well, so it could be that you're worrying too much, so you're withdrawing, so this person feels like, which is interesting because they're not pursuing and you're withdrawing, so it's kind of an interesting thing that you're both kind of doing your own thing, waiting for the other one to come along and say something. So it might be that you're both like thinking that it's not completely correct for you both to be in a relationship together, but you guys are not unhappy or wanting to leave. It's just like a state of so if you guys are both in this relationship, I would suggest going and reading the book called Mating in Captivity, by Esther Perel, which is a very interesting book. And yeah, that's what I would think. In general, Ada, that would probably be a good thing. But yeah, like but Leos tend to have flashy kind of like, not a flashy brain, but they tend to get excited about new things. Yeah. So it's Anash says, hi, where does my boyfriend want to take this relationship? So I hope that helped you, Ada. I wish there was a trap for all Leos, but Leos tend to be like, always like, nah, you don't know me. Even if you like offer them their favorite foods. Where does this boyfriend want to take the relationship? King of Wands. He's a very extroverted person and probably wants you to share his love of his friends. Page of Cups tends to be slightly a workaholic, which has led to a period of stuckness. So this person might spend a lot of time with their workmates compared to you. This person doesn't see anything bad with your relationship, actually sees you as being awesome. So you probably in the past had some dinner parties with friends and you were the one cooking, and he sees like how much love and how much attention you put in a meal. There's a weakness in you that might be a thing that you might want a little bit more, which is okay, that's fine. He's probably filled up with all the outside people, so his friends tend to maybe take up more space than you want, and that's okay, that's fine. This person probably should spend more time focusing on love instead of money, but I think that they think you're fine. And And unless you really kind of step down and say, hey, I'm going to do my own thing, then I think this person will just sit there and go, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Because yeah, I think that you, like, he's like, oh yeah, do you want to watch a movie? And you're like, oh yeah, I'm fine, I'm coming. And then you just feel dissatisfied because you watch whatever he is watching. If that's not the case, then let me know, but it seems like you do kind of kind of do the, yeah, thing. Amanda, congratulations! Happy birthday! Amanda says, hello Cassandra. How are you? May I ask, I just turned 20. Any advice for this new circle? Well, firstly, don't be hard on yourself, which judgment in reverse is pretty much saying what I'm going to say to you. I might not look it, but I'm actually 30. 32 this year. And yeah, the 20s that I had, I was very, very mean to myself because, you know, you get out of school, you decide that you're going to be a new, different person because now finally you're out of that thing, and so therefore you tend to really judge yourself very harshly, and I think that's very unfair. Hard work and persistence will pay off in this 20s. And that's okay, that's fine. It doesn't matter where you put the hard work because most of the time you're getting skills. And the skills will be applicable for anything that you do. Temperance in reverse. All I'm thinking of is Bill Gates' 12 rules where he says don't point fingers at your parents. Delouse your cupboard first. So delouse your wardrobe first. So it's like, yeah, temperance in reverse means chaos, which is because you've just kind of probably moved out and you're starting your own life. You tend to forget when bills are due, you forget when when to wash your clothes and do all of that, and it's okay. My sister actually I think she still keeps a diary when she's actually working, when she's off. It's the easiest way that she can remember things. So this might be a thing that you need to do, is like write in or set a reminder on your calendar when things are due, just so you don't have like overdue fees and stuff like that, because when you're 20 and stuff like that, things cost more because you don't have that much money. Says me, currently unemployed. But yeah, it's okay, it's fine. I got redundant in September. Yeah, actually October, I lie, because the furlough here in the UK finished. So yeah. Exciting new part of my life. If you're not actually subscribed to the channel, then please do, because it's really good if you the channel finally gets monetized, because then I worry less, but you don't have to if you don't want to. So M's Yini says, how will Taurus feel if I finally stop talking to him after all he's done? This guy's gonna actually feel relief. Miss Yini, which is probably not what you want to hear, but this guy's like brilliant. I feel like this person's an Australian or something, like just like, it's done. So I don't know, probably this guy He's the cat in the background scratching up all the posts. So it's actually kind of great that you've got him out. Because you're like in the foreground just like smelling the roses going, this is great. Leaving him to scratch the post over there. At least he's further away so you don't have to hear him anymore. I'm sorry. It's like sometimes people think like karma's going to get them. And I'm definitely a firm proponent of karma. But I'll tell you now, the people that sit there and go, why? Why me? Why me? Like, what did I do? And you're sitting there going, you treat people so badly. And when karma comes, they just complain about it. They're like, oh my god, it's not fair. Sometimes people like that. And you're just like, okay, move on. So, Pretty S, will me and Kay move in together next year? Firstly, there's a life decision that is being chosen not to choose. There's a little bit of confusion there. There's also that you guys may have to work on yourselves before you move in, because I don't think that you guys have been cohabitating with other partners, so it might be like, or you might have to deal with some hiccups of your personalities. I definitely know that one thing that I do that annoys my partner so much, which is funny. Okay, so let me tell a story from lunchtime. So I go downstairs for lunch because my partner cooks, because he thinks that he's the only one that can clean the kitchen. I'm like, okay, fine, cook and clean, whatever, it's good, I get free food. And yeah, so after lunch I was like, okay, I've got some lemon curd in the fridge, why don't I have like a couple of slices of bread, some butter and some lemon curd? And I pull the stuff out to make some sandwiches. Well, not sandwiches, just bread and lemon curd and stuff like that. And he's like, what are you doing now? I'm like, I'm going to make something after lunch to eat with a cup of tea, have an afternoon tea, you know? And he's like, oh yeah, but I've cleaned up the crummies. And so he wouldn't let me like put down another thing. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. It's like, maybe after dinner. Crummies are the enemy in our house, yeah? So, and Queen of Wands. So, interesting. I think you both move in, but there's like something that... Oh my lord, my nose. I don't know about you, but it seems like every time I do this late, and now like the boiler's kicked in, it's quite hot in the house. But I'm gonna take a drink of water just in case it's that. So Queen of Wands in reverse means you're highly reliant on this person. Now, it could be that you're withdrawing into yourself, but I always feel like when you're like focused on one person, which Queen of Wands shouldn't do because they're very highly extroverted. And so therefore, if they focus their energy on one person, they burn that person out quite fast because you've got a high battery. Or probably, how would I explain it? Extroverts probably have a low battery, but they take energy from other people. That's what they do, is just like... And sometimes you're around an extrovert for a little bit. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel tired around an extrovert because they're always asking questions and I have to think about the question. So I think that you need to realize when you move in, you've got to kind of still talk to your friends, okay? Okay, so Calming Vibes says, how does Robert feel about me? Because we had an argument and I told him I wanted to end it. He got angry and blocked me. Firstly, I think that he feels like you're attention seeking, and you probably are. This person tends to live a carefree life and tends to not really worry about the consequences of their actions, tends to just be just their own way kind of thing. Not foolish, like the fool, but they tend to just want whatever. And they're like never wanting this to end, so they kind of want things to go the way they want it to go. So it might be actually within your best interest to keep on enforcing that thing to end, because yes, of course you have like things to work on, this intention seeking behavior, which has been highlighted is possibly correct for you, and it might make your life a little bit more difficult, but in general, like, this person's not going to change their actions, whether you like it or not. They're not going to grow up. I feel like you want them to kind of either fight for you or do something different, and they're not. They're just going to do whatever they want to do, okay? Can I have 1 second? I'm going to blow my nose because, yeah, it's gone leaky. It's leaky like a bolt. 1 second. Don't you hate that feeling? When you blow your nose and there's only one nostril side that's blocked. Skin? You can just like put down your question. That's alright. If you have already, it's all good. Sophie. Ada, I don't think so. It's just like you both are quite different, so that's probably the case. He needs more like reassurance that you actually care about him. Ada, that's what I think. Victor's of thoughts and feelings towards me, says Sophie. This person actually wants to stay. They might have been moving somewhere and they want to stay in the same location because of you. And this person has the moon in reverse. So this person actually disregards anything that anybody else says about you, including their own internal monologue. So this is their ego. So when you actually have it in reverse, this person tends to regard all of this as useless information. So this is actually kind of interesting because this person has some very strong feelings about you. Probably has a very lot of faith that this relationship's going to work out. So don't break their heart. They want to do right by you. Very sure. So let me move down. Hey, Moon! No worries, Amanda. Oh, the cat, please stay on the table. I love how my cats are just like running around. They just like move anywhere. Okay, so hi, what are T's feelings towards me? What does he want from me? uh, this person I don't feel like is traditional, but he wants like a housewife. Someone to work hard and like cook meals. So I don't know why like WandaVision's coming in my head. Has anyone watched WandaVision? Like the first episode where she's in that lovely dress and she's like in black and white and they're trying to make dinner. I'm not gonna spoil it. WandaVision's great. If you have Disney Plus, watch it. Or cough cough. I'm not saying anything. But yeah, it feels like a very traditional notion. Like this person wants to be the provider, the caretaker person, and expects you to take that kind of traditional role. So I don't know where this person got raised, because that kind of feels like non-conformance to Western values, but it depends on where he's from, yeah? But that's what I'm feeling from those. Okay, Michelle says, what is Mike? Hello, Demi, how are you? What is Mike hiding that he wishes you to know? Then he's not totally over the last relationship. So this person's kind of holding on to the hope, which is actually kind of weird. I learned about this and I was like shocked. People have a lot of like burner relationships, so they keep people on the back burner for them. But this person, I think if their ex said, oh yeah, like I'm available or something, like they haven't completely gone from that kind of thought mindset. Also, you're completely different in a lot of ways, and this kind of really confuses or makes the relationship difficult. And that's okay. That's sometimes what we need to realize is that being similar is great, but it is boring. And sometimes that it's good to have a slightly different things, because yeah, that tends to spice up the relationship more, because you don't know your partner as much as you think you know them, and that's good. That's good. Also, that means that it's a sign that it's a little bit more established relationship, because when you're thinking that someone so similar to you is the start of a relationship, because you're actually thinking about what that person is in their head. So, of course, Ari. So Corey is next, and then Ari after that. What are Tim's true feelings for me? Does he like me? Aww. Let's see. Hermit. This person doesn't really like people or does want to be around people, so he's kind of staying his distance. It's kind of funny that this is like a paper bag and this one's a box. But this guy's just working on his thing. So I think that there's no kind of love there. Yeah, I feel like this person's sticking to themselves and kind of working, which is weird. I feel like this is a work thing. Is this a work thing, Corey? Because yeah, this person like gets into their cubicle and just starts working and really doesn't go out with anybody from work. So I don't think this person actually likes you, so And probably doesn't like anybody, so it's okay. It's fine. He's just like sitting in his own place going, oh no. It's a person. Do they want to talk to me? Oh no. We all have had that time, right, guys? What are Bryson's true feelings? And should I leave me, and should I leave him alone? It's kind of weird. This guy's got really weird cards here. Like, this person might be like unemployed, but still wants like kids with you, because the Empress means like having a family, being pregnant, like that kind of bit where this person wants like a family with you. But then like the King of Pentacles just doesn't want to invest. So it could be that he wants to be there, but he wants to be the house husband, which I found funny. One day I was traveling by a train and I heard this, and so it was like, oh yeah, I would love to be a house husband because all I have to do is like take this kids to school and then go to the gym. And I was like, I think it's harder than that. That was my thought, was like like the mouth open, like, I think it's harder than that. Besides, like, if your like girlfriend or something isn't making a lot of money, then who's affording your gym membership? I would never attention seek him. I'm just tired of him. He's being very abusive towards me. Well, that could be the case, is that bit where, yeah, you know, like sometimes the cards actually, depending on what viewpoint, they're actually telling you what that person thinks compared to the actual truth. Hi there! What is this actions will Sagittarius take towards me tomorrow when he sees me, Libra? Okay, so it's coming up to the time that we usually close the list. If anybody's just come in, no panics, no worries, nothing, nada. Please place your question. In 5 minutes, I'm actually going to close all the questions. If you've asked before I actually type down list is closed, I will answer every single person's question tonight. So, what actions will Sagittarius take towards me tomorrow when he sees me? I think he's going to be a little bit strict, a little bit upset that you have not, like, like, given him enough time and attention this week. So he's a little bit miffed that you had to be busy. Yeah, I think he also wants like some kind of hugs or kisses or something. Something a little bit more. So maybe if he's been like at least a good man all week and being patient and being caring and kind, maybe buy him a drink or a cup of coffee, because he's just been like, I've been waiting around and you just have not been, like, this week's been, I need a hug. I need some attention. Don't tell him, but yeah, he needs a smile or two. Ada says, I sent him a morning text and he didn't respond. Why not? Because he's probably been asleep. Give me a second, I'll ask Ada. Okay, 5 minutes. Checking the time. Oh, he understands a lot about what you were saying. But he kind of felt stuck. Like, what would I say? Like, he felt like if he replied, he'd be in a trap. he would be stuck in a trap again for you to like repeat the same thing. So if you reply back and like you pretended like nothing happened, like he could just expect the same thing to happen again. So sometimes like guys understand a lot, but they don't want it to become this big thing, and so sometimes that's the case. Okay, so I think this is list time. List is closed. If you put your question in before I type list is closed, that's fine. I'm going to answer it tonight, so don't run away. Okay? Don't run away. And then I will answer everybody's, and then I will finish tonight. I hope you guys are having fun here. So Demi's next one? Okay. Thank you, Demi. That's very lovely of you. If anybody doesn't know, YouTube's a pain in the butt, and you have to have 1,000 subscribers before you can monetize your channel. So if you came and watched the ad on the way in, then I don't get any of that. Sorry, guys. You think that you're supporting me? Unfortunately, no. Not with YouTube. Okay, so G feels very much like new love has entered that person's life. They see only good things with you, so they actually imagine a future with you. It's weird that they've got a life choice coming soon or now that they need to choose. It's also that they don't know how to implement it. So you know how some people are just like been single for a little bit and they just don't know how to like deal with kind of moving back into a relationship. They find it very direct, which is very unsettling for them because they tend to not be. It's also winter, so it might be that they don't see you a lot, or they feel like the communications are like not a little bit cold. So they might just be like, hey, how are you? Winky face. And you reply with, I'm good. No smiley face. And they're like, oh. But I replied with a winky face. And I've got at least 2 emoji. I'm sorry. So everybody's a kid. Everybody's a kid. They could also feel like they don't want to take on any financial responsibility because, like, what would I say? Like, relationships always cost money, and anybody that says they don't is a liar. Relationships cost money, whether you like it or not. Relationships cost money, so that person's kind of having to weigh up that. So, yeah, I think this guy really likes you. Okay, so Sagittarius. What should I be focusing on the present? What should I put less focus on right now? That's a good question. Give me 1 second. I'll ask Sagittarius this first. Do you see me a promotion at work? I think you're doing the right things. You're showing that you can work very well with the team that's provided. So I think you're actually on the ball, on the money when it comes to that. You might need to show that you've got more unique skills than anybody else in your team, but I think you're doing very well to proving that you have the capability or the things that you need to do. Okay. So, the moon is here where you're actually scared of people's criticisms or going out of your way at work if you're seen to be rising for a promotion. The star means that you should actually grow your own yourself grow your own skills. And mentor other people as well. So it could be that you need to kind of show yourself up as a authoritarian leadership role. Knight of Swords, which tends to mean that you have quite a lot of boundless energy. It might be that you don't actually burn that off at work. And if you don't have like a space to kind of work, like maybe it is to kind of give yourself like gym work or something, because I always feel like you have a physical activity meter that most people don't. So you tend to have like, what was it, you don't tire yourself out before you go to work, so you might be easily distracted. And Page of Wands, your promotion is quite close to getting received, but there's a lot there, and there's a lot to unpack, so I hope you were listening, okay? CK says, second question, please. Okay, so let us say that that's 2 questions, but I'll answer that at the same time because it is exactly reverse. Okay, so what is CK supposed to focus on right now, cards, please? Okay, they must want to be in reverse. Okay, Page of Cups, you need to focus on hard work. Or focus on something without taking a break to do other things. So whatever like is really important right now, like career or wise, and what should CK not focus on? That's weird. You got Page of Cups and Knight of Cups. But then it's like sitting there giving me all of these. So I will take this as well. So not focusing on death or moving on with this right now, because I think that's kind of a thing. Let me double check, because I always feel like these are slightly the same. They have the same energy. Let me double check for you, because they feel like always. So, as determined and studious as he may seem, make no mistakes, the page is also fun and young at heart. He can relax and take time to gaze into his feelings and motives, all that gets gazed into. So it's probably time for self-reflection, to be honest. Nine of Cups is that you need to take a good hard look at the wisdom that surrounds you. So it might be actually about relationships, that you shouldn't be focusing on relationships. Through imagination and knowledge, you can find your true path. Okay, so it might be time to realize that there's a lot of things that you might need to fix, like friendships or relationships wise, that you shouldn't focus on right now. You focus on that later, but you should focus on taking a good hard look at yourself and then focusing on everything else, which I think is actually a really good thing for the cards to say, because most of the time we're fixing the external, never really looking at the internal. And when we change the internal, everything else changes around us, because perception is the most important thing for us in day-to-day activities. So yeah, focus on the internal and then focus on the external, which is very good. I think the cards are very spot on with that. Okay, so Gemini says, hi, what are my feelings then? Ayla, you finished up. So we finished up today, Ayla. I'm sorry, the list has been closed for 5 minutes now. So what is your person's feelings towards me, says Gemini. That they're stuck. They're trying to get out, or they're working towards something. How would I explain this without it's sounding mean, because that's the first thing that I thought in my head, that that's the case. This person might feel a little bit stifled around you, and they might have like other things to be focused on that don't include you at the moment. And that might be okay, because this person might be feeling very angry that they don't have time for you. Yeah? And that might be very mean for them to think, okay, like, you'll understand tomorrow I'll spend time with this person, and they don't have time. So it might be one of those things that you've got to kind of sit there and go, okay, they've got stuff to do, and they just have to be like, until they get unstuck, they need to work on it, and then they'll come back to actually like talking to you, Gemini, or like spending time with you, compared to like what they were before, because I feel like they were a very loving, caring person. Because I don't think that most people, if they were not caring about your feelings and not caring about you, would actually like be not worried about you per se. Okay, when do you see me having a baby? The Wheel of Fortune in reverse means that you actually have to plan when to have this baby, which makes sense, because obviously it's down to cycles, so yeah. I did, Tay Marie. I did that a long time ago. You weren't listening to your thing. Tay Marie, I answered that the first time around. Okay, everybody, thank you for coming. Tay Marie, what was it? Let me try and remember your message, because I did answer that. You spammed it quite a lot, so I had answered it the first time, and then yeah. You actually deleted it, so yeah. No worries, sorry, Tamiri. It was the first time you answered that, asked that question I have, and you can tell because your message will come up. So the first time is where your message is, because that's how I do it, so you guys can see where I am on the questions, okay? Until next week, be kind to others, be kind to yourselves, and I'll see you for tarot next week. Love and light to you all. Bye!